And the new series from the creator of Beelzebub is here, and I am been waiting for such a long time for this show. Seriously and all that. I wanted this for so long, ever since Beelzebub ended. I really wanted him to do something new that wasn't like Beelzebub's like, oh, here's the other magazine, and just do a couple of side Beelzebub chapters. And he's finally got his own new series known as Hungry Mary. And the question is it any good? Is it any good compared to like any of the other like Shonen Jump new series and all that titles that they come out, as it's being like one of the last two that was supposed to come out next to the Crocodile Baskets, like creators' new stuff. And well, this one's a pretty goddamn weird one, like, as we get to see, like, I mean, immediately from the start of the chapter we get to see like exactly the main girl, like herself and all that, Mary, like that shit. And then you don't see her again for the entire, like, until the very end of the chapter with a twist. Because our main character, like, Tiger, is there, like, saying, like, hey, man, you know, that, you know, fuck this and all that. I'm going into this church and all that. And so I keep being, like, you know, I'm going to do all this shit, like, you know, like, see what's sort of haunted and all that. And then finds out, like, there's, like, this little girl and all that called Anna, who's, like, in, like, the church haunted. He's like, sweet, there's a fucking, like, there's a haunted bitch in here. And I think one thing that I really liked about this chapter, like, it's really hard to describe, like, a lot in, like, sort of like in it, because comedy is always like, you know, like it's very like, you know, like to person and all that. But I think especially how I like Beelzebub's comedy, I think it really hit home and all that. And plus as well, there was just a bunch of like nostalgic character designs like that. I mean, let's not lie and all that. Like Tiger and all that, like he is unapologetically just looks like a little bit of a younger version of like Ogre. Like that's just all he is. And even when like you see like some of the other characters, like a Landalon, like that guy with the mustache, he just looks like him from Beelzebub. And one of the greatest things and all that, where I kind of really enjoyed, that gave me like a real hard chuckle, was like when he's literally going to school and he's like seeing his little like wimpy kid friend and all that, who's like literally called Mamoru, and he's like, yeah, you know, he was the one that was terrified, like seeing that girl. And then you see like what happened to him a few years later, and he has legit become like a yakuza looking like thug, and he's just like, yo, like I've been picking up bitches in like the mixer, and I'm like, what the fuck happened like to you? And I love the fact that like they either make a reference to like kind of like, I think Beelzebub, where it's like he's like, I'm in the wrong series and like and like even when they were like, they had a joke saying like, are those guys in the wrong manga or something? We're clearly to be in a different kind of thing. And the fact that he's like, you know, this isn't the story of picking up chicks, this isn't all a mediocre story about like, you know, kung fu boys school and all that. This is a story of my love. And I was like, that's a weird way like to describe that this is where the series is going to be going. And when he meets Anna and finds out and all that, like she's actually doing some necromancy bullshit, and I was like, wait, what? And then like ends up kidnapping him, and like because he's like got such a boner for her, he's like, oh yeah, I'll do anything for you and all that, and ends up becoming a sacrifice to like something that like the female like a great like dynasty, like of the Queen dynasty and all that of the French dynasty, like Lady like Mary Therese Charlotte. Like I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, and they were just saying like, oh, she's, you know, fair enough and all that, like, you know, like she would with a dying man would do no harm and all that, and it's just like she was like such an amazing person. And I love the fact that like when she was there, like what happened is like how they got the book of necromancy is just like, you know, oh, screw this shit and all that, like I'm just gonna give the necromancy book to someone, like, cause like I have nothing else to like give away the gambling. I'm like, oh wow, that's terrible. The fact that you gave up such blood rituals for that kind of shit. And one of the fucked up things is that Tiger literally emits her like blood to like Anna right as lightning hits his like body, and like there's just this great bit of like the father and all that, and like even her, she's like, what the hell is with this time? Right as he said that, and he comes in and all that, and he's like, that's the spot. There were chicken drumsticks right there, weren't there? Like, please tell me that we just put chicken drumsticks there instead of like that kid, please, please, please. Oh. And I just, like the whole joke, I think like was at the end. He was like, "Well, we've got a book of like resurrection and shit. Might as well try on a second person as well after all that." And he's like, "Yeah, you're all right and all that." And he's like, "Oh, thank goodness he's alive." As he comes out of the ground, and then turns out like right at the end, he actually becomes like Mary. And I was like, that wasn't what I was expecting. Like from like all the pictures that we were seeing, I was expecting like Tiger and alongside with like her like Mary to be like double character. I don't know, at like some point they're gonna split, but it seems like this is gonna be one of the things where he's like, oh, I'm actually become this like lady for a very long time, and there's gonna be some consequences to it. And I thought, oh, so the main guy is technically a guy, but he's also a dude, so we got some like Rama 1/2 shit in this. And I'm curious to see where it's going to be going and all that. I was like, they're going to be explaining, you know, oh, what happened to your body, like, at the end and all that. Like, so I'm curious to see what that is and all that. But other than that, like, was it, like, any good compared to, like, all the other stuff that's come out of here? Like, honestly, like, I am a very much, like, I am a Beelzebub fan. Like, I really did enjoy that kind of comedy. I do like kind of, like, a little bit slapstick. I think the premise is very weird, like, for a little bit, and I think, like, it does, like, at some bits, like, drag a little bit, but other than that, I did think it was really funny. I think, like, kind of, like, when he was, like, tied up and he got, like, hit by lightning, I thought that was fucking hilarious. Same thing with, like, when he saw his friend Mamoru, and it's, like, he legit did a 180, you know, he looks like a Yakuza thug. Like, there was some stuff that I really enjoyed in here, but I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comment section down below, because I really did have a lot of fun with this one, but that's all up to you guys. Not out in the comment section down below what you truly think. But thank you as always.